He's been hitting the last 3 games. Two down. Last of the ninth. 3-2 Oakland. There's a fly ball here in the deep left center. Joe Rudy there. Oakland has won.
Oh, yeah, tie game. Paul O'Neill. Goodbye into the night of New York.
He struck it out. It's over. It's over. The Rangers have won the World Series. Ranger fans, you're not dreaming.
Tears in his eyes. And it's not just about baseball.
Baseball. Pastoral Americana. An old field game in a new city world. No wonder MLB viewership has been decreasing in the last decade. The games are long and uneventful, making for poor in-person attendance and dwindling TV numbers. 2022. League-wide batting average is at its all-time lowest, .243. In light of decreasing attendance and viewership, league officials and hated MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred begin to survey the public's opinion about what baseball needs.
I guess for newer people, I know a lot of friends who I've tried to get into baseball, and they kind of just find it boring. Like they say, it's slow, nothing's happening, even though you could probably say the same thing about football and their constant pauses, all this different stuff. I feel like some of them, I can understand why they implemented some of those choices. They want to make the game like snappier. They want to make it better for audiences, especially younger audiences, like some of us who are new coming into it.
Like I said, I'm not sure this is the smallest crowd I've seen here. I was here for the 2,700 crowd, and you can hear, for the first time, I heard the guy in left field calling for the ball.
I like seeing more hits than less hits. I think everybody does. If a guy hits the baseball hard, I think it should be rewarded.
People like home runs, stolen bases, and more exciting games. Okay, that's what everyone's been thinking for years. How do we implement this into the game with universal rules that the league can adopt?
Because baseball has been stuck in its ways for years and years, and that's why you have, I want to say alienated, but driven off younger fans.
We sit in the 6th row for a very nice, reasonable price.
But I'm glad they're trying something new to get more people to watch, because it's a beautiful game. It really is. When you play it, when you watch it, when you sit out there, I think baseball is one of the best in-person games as opposed to some others. Others are more TV-friendly. Baseball is such a great game in person. So I think whatever it takes to get more people into the ballpark to experience it and see it and smell it and taste it, I think it's all for the better.
Tough day for the A's and their fans. Oakland loses to Minnesota 14-4. Official attendance 7,106. In Oakland, Wes Walker, KPIX5.
In 2023, we've now seen a full season of these new rules in place. There still exists much debate over whether these changes are good for the game.
They're trying to increase those moments.
Right. It is high. It is far. It is gone. A 2-run game-winning home.
Which I understand. It just becomes like a money game, more commercialized, and less of a pure all-American sport, in my opinion. You know.
I mean, you're always going to have a few people as fans, old white guys watching stats as fans. Is that the only fan base you want? How are you going to grow the game if you don't have younger people or just different people that aren't diehard baseball fans? You shouldn't have to play baseball as a kid to enjoy baseball as an adult.
Firstly, did MLB achieve their goals of more exciting games, more home runs, and more stolen bases? According to The Athletic, the average MLB game time went down from the 2022 to 2023 season by almost a half hour. Keep in mind the shrunken game time is more instrumental in keeping fans interested, especially younger fans. In the postseason this past year, there was only a single 4-hour game because it went into 11 innings. I'll let you guess which game that was because it was probably the most exciting one.
Could tie it with one swing. High drive! It's tied! Corey Seager has tied the game in the ninth. And now the Rangers can look to win it.
Players scored 1,600 more runs this year and stole 1,300 more bases. This year also saw National League MVP Ronald Acuna Jr. achieve the first 40 home run and 70 stolen base season ever by a single player. Here's a quick breakdown of the rule changes this year in the MLB. The biggest rule here is obviously the pitch clock change.
If
However,
runners are just
some
stealing
even
all
going
the
forward
plays,
into
why would
2024, they would rather have
players
based on specific
that's a very exact 20 days. But what do fans really think?
So I think to boil the game down to more of its essence, maybe, is a good way with the pitch clock removed. I think it's made a huge difference. Going to games, watching on TV, they flow better now. You don't need a 4-hour baseball game unless it goes into 15 innings. So but that's the big one. So it's been an interesting year. I'm glad they're trying new things, actually.
That's the thing is, no, they're not, because a lot less people have. MLB is not achieving their results because a lot less people are watching these games. I think it was the Rangers and the Rays. Yeah. Rangers and the Rays had like the worst turnout for a NL playoff game. Yeah, it was. It's weird to see. It's just like uncommon. We know that MLB has like slowly gone down in viewership, but this year, considering they threw in these new rules to kind of encourage people to watch, it's strange how little it worked.
What makes the game more exciting? What makes the game less exciting? What should they change more? These are questions that we have to ask, that MLB continues to ask. And hopefully the Players Association can be a valuable resource in consultation from not just a fan perspective. I do appreciate that MLB and other media outlets have fan votes regarding these rules to get a good opinion on how they've changed the game. Things that make baseball super unique to you.
Oh man, there's so much. There's so much to say. Like there's like you can compare a lot of sports to baseball. But baseball is one of those just strangely unique things. You know, the 9 innings split into halves. You have, it's hard to say other things. I mean, you get those aspects of stardom you get in like basketball and football, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd say it's the same. I think it's much more common in baseball for you to remember those random moments where, Randy Johnson hits a bird with the pitch. Like, that's legendary. Like, we all remember that, at least in, like, rewatching it or watching it. Just those small moments kind of stick in our heads, I think, more so. And maybe it's because baseball at times is boring. I think that boring aspect of baseball brings out those, like, crazy moments because it's like watching paint dry and then watching a fly land on the wall and get stuck. Like, that's gonna be the best part of the game. Those moments are so much more memorable versus, what is it, an hour and a half of men tackling each other and just, Dynamics is important in audio and in baseball.